All right, let's bring you a full discussion on tomorrow's elections. SABC News foreign editor Sophie Mokoena joining me in studio here in Auckland Park in Johannesburg. Show and Bryce Peace live for us in New York, and a bit later we'll be joined by Holly Hunter in London, looking at this from a European perspective. But let's start with you, Sophie. I mean, America has been accused of being inward-looking. There are so many domestic issues. Is Africa even on the agenda for this US election?
Well, the Donald Trump tenure was characterized with a situation where Africa didn't feature much. But during this COVID-19, we saw him assisting Africa by sending ventilators and also continued to support Africa on the HIV and AIDS program that was initiated by George W. Bush during his tenure and the former president of South Africa, Thabo Mbeki. But clearly, in terms of statements, not much has been said about Africa by the two leaders. But I think you know that there's tension, particularly with countries such as Zimbabwe, on the recent announcement that U.S. is going to tighten sanctions against Zimbabwe. Let's take a listen at what the Foreign Affairs Minister of Zimbabwe had to say about these elections and perhaps the outcome.
Our re-engagement with the United States of America and any other country is with the country and the government of the day. And therefore, it does not make any difference whether it is the Republicans or it is the Democrats, but we look forward to re-engaging the American people and the American institutions and also the American leadership, so that we can have an understanding and that we can, all Zimbabwe can become a member of the family of nations and trade freely with and with other countries, including the United States of America.
But you know, Francis, his predecessor, Barack Obama, had strong relations with Africa, particularly because his father came from Kenya. And Saraki Mani took to the streets of Nairobi to get a sense of what Kenyans had to say about this coming election. Let's take a listen at this insert that was compiled by Saraki Mani during the day today.
Africa has not featured in any of the presidential or vice presidential debates in the US in the run-up to the elections. That's not to say, however, that the continent is not following events in the country. Top on the minds of many policymakers is how incumbent President Donald Trump has chosen to relate with the continent, a departure from his predecessors.
He's less interested in dealing with multilateral organizations as opposed to dealing with individual countries. 4 African countries suffered a blow with the announcement of a controversial travel ban policy. Also affected are reproductive health services, where the Trump administration has cut funding.
Donald Trump, of course, because we've seen what he's done. And, you know, he's one guy who stands for the rights of Americans.
He has even failed the world, not America. I like his policies and his humility. He's not arrogant like Trump.
Biden. Straight, yes.
I think Joe Biden would be a much better person.
From the conflict over the Nile River to getting fabric from factories in Lesotho to the US, it is a high-stakes election for Africa, whichever way it goes. Sarah Kimani, SABC News, Kenya.